So here we have a bit of a variation on a theme. This step down caused by a fallen tree where the trail has built up one side and fallen away the other. It's created us a nice little step in the trail. Come to look at this one because where we've looked at some fairly simplistic straight line steps, here we've got twisting trail coming in. So as you round the corner, the first sight of the step down is closer, and therefore it's very easy to get sucked into the section and staring into the section. More than that, as you approach, you'll notice a stump towards the exit point, or midsection as we're popping through. And it's very clear to see that two things have happened here. Firstly, because of the distance before, people feel that they have to roll this because they haven't got enough speed to pop off. They're not pushing through the bike enough. And as they come down hard on the front, either by rolling it and not getting it moving their hips enough to let the back wheel pop up, or by trying to push through but not pushing through with enough commitment, the chain rings have started bashing, and you can see some score marks down there, which equates to spending on the big ring. Secondly, you can see how the trail has started to drift. And I'll put this down to the performance cue down here, the visual performance cue of the stump, which if you get things wrong could become a fairly major input performance cue. But as people round the corner spot the log and the step, their eyes are diverted towards a potential hazard, and rather than looking through to the line they want to take, they're looking at the hazard and at the last minute are peeling off and riding down this side. So a number of combination of factors here causing some issues, but really if we keep things simple, break things down in our standard method of entry, section, exit, projecting through the section, getting our thinking done back here, getting our speed control good, and if our speed is lower, pushing through the bike more with more movement of the body, more drop of the wrist and heel and pushing through the log and onwards and through. Getting the entry speed right, or matching the level of drive through the bike with the entry speed, we get a nice smooth soft landing. Play that back and you should hear very little noise on landing, no chain slap, suspension working nicely, nice and relaxed as I come through the section, and not tensing or worrying about performance cues, but dealing with them at the right time at the right place, which is way back up there or just back up there. As soon as I spot them, look through them, keep myself composed and relaxed. Although ideally we want our wheels to land together on the trail, be that on a downslope or in this case onto the flat, don't panic too much if you get a very slight front wheel landing. That's not such a problem as long as it's not caused by you pulling forward and your body mass pushing the front wheel down. Then you are going to get yourself into trouble if you push through the bike, and even if the bike dips down slightly, when you land under, rotation's going to kick in, you're going to push down and through as your mass lands slightly on the front wheel. The wheel, lands slightly first, your mass will drop down and through, not down and on top of. So rolling those wrists forward and picking those elbows up and hucking off stuff, forget it. Push through, be smooth. Woo. So good example there of three riders, three different methods, three different approaches, varying levels of success. First rider a bit slow in, a bit slow to move, not really picking the head up and pushing through the section. Second rider, good entry speed, looking up, little tendency to try and get tweak a little bit of extra height out for the camera, and a little bit of a pull on the bars. Third rider, bit of a moody corner but recovered really well. Pushed through the bike nicely despite having to dab in the corner where his front wheel nearly washed out, but pushed through nicely, recovered well, looked through the section, happy days. So footwork is one of our elements that we haven't really focused on too much. There is a slight, in previous editions we've talked about the heel drop being important, pushing through the bike, our mass driving the bike along through our feet. When it comes to drops, we're going to have to tweak things a little bit here, and certainly from flat to flat you're going to notice a slight change in what's happening with your feet. As you enter, your heels are going to be dropped. As you push through, the likelihood is your feet will level off if you're riding into a flat landing. Unconsciously, what you're doing is you're lining up the levelling out of the bike with the trail. If I just push through with my heels and keep my heels dropped pushing through, we're going to end up with a slight looping out situation. So in fact, rather than just keeping heels dropped all the time, as we have been with a lot of our trail riding, and to get good contact with the bike and good push energy through the bike in the correct manner, we're going heel, slightly toe, heel. This is going to be exaggerated when we're dropping down into a downslope. And we're going to look at taking this technique into more full-on drops into downslopes, which can get bigger and bigger next time.